Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. We're back with more Heroes of the Storm. I know usually I save these for Hero Tuesday, but I figured I'd go ahead and get this out of the way. There's not much to see just yet. I am going to cover a hero, Tracer, obviously. She came out just yesterday. And I'm going to cover a build that is currently on the Heroes Nexus website. The highest rated one, and it's not really highly rated, it's like 4 votes, because we really didn't know anything about Tracer until today. Now this may change, the build itself may change, and there's really no explanation for the build, besides, hey, here's my second attempt at the build by the person. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tracer. Now Tracer is a ranged assassin, and we'll get into her abilities here in just a few minutes. So this is her base look. She has 2 alternate colors. There's green, I think her hair is a little lighter brown, and then there's blue, and she's blonde instead. And then you have the master skin. Just I keep forgetting, I gotta click the person. So it looks a little more like a jet engine, even. Knowing that she was on a plane, this kind of makes sense for her. It's kind of cool looking. It looks more like a jet engine than it previously did. Here's her first one, and this is more of the slipstream look, so you can see that skin as a origin skin for Tracer in Overwatch. No, go back. And last but not least, there's the pink skin with the blue hair. Guess she's trying to be like Dodger, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into Tracer, her abilities, her talents, etc., etc. So her difficulty is hard. She's a hard character to play. Her Q, W, and E. Q is blink. It's got a 6-second cooldown. It dashes you dash towards an area. Has 3 charges. So this is very much like her blink in Overwatch. She has melee, which is rather interesting. Attack a nearby enemy. Has an 8-second cooldown. Deal X damage to a nearby enemy. Prioritizing heroes. Gain 5% pulse bomb charge when damaging an enemy, and 10% against heroes. So again, calling back to the Overwatch build, those heroes can melee each other. It's one of the things they do. Recall, another one of her abilities from the game. Cooldown 24 seconds. Return to the position you were at 3 seconds ago. Refill your ammo and remove all negative status effects from yourself. And then her trait is Reload. It's a 1-second cooldown. You can basic attack while moving, and after attacking 10 times, you need to reload over 0.75 seconds. You can manually reload early by activating Reload. And then Heroic, and she only has 1 Heroic, and you get it at level 1. It is Pulse Bomb, so fire a short-range bomb that attaches to enemy units if you hit them. The bomb explodes after 1.5 seconds, dealing X damage to them and X damage to other nearby enemies. This ability is slowly charged over time by dealing damage to enemies with basic attacks and melee. So again, very much like her abilities in the actual game Overwatch. So they're literally translating her abilities over. Now, excuse me as I take another drink. It's been rather dry in Florida, so staying hydrated and things like that. Anyways, enough about Florida. Let's get into her talents and excuse me, this Tracer build that someone made. Now, it's just called Tracer Build Number 2 by Adox. I'm not too sure on the name. I apologize ahead of time because I don't know. So, level 1, we have Pulse Strike. Increases melee's pulse bomb charge from 10% to 15% against heroes. Slipstream reduces recall's cooldown by 4 seconds and increases the amount of time recalled by 1 second. And Tracer Rounds. Your basic attacks reveal enemies for 4 seconds. For this build, it says to go with Slipstream. At level 4, we have Parting Gift. Recall leaves behind 3 bombs that deal X damage each to different targets. Is that a health pack? increases regeneration globe and healing fountain healing by 100%. And Untouchable. Takedowns increase your basic attack damage by 2% up to 30%. These bonuses are lost on death. And that is the ability they say to go with at level 4. At level 7 we have Jumper, increases Blink's charges by 1. Bullet Time, basic attacks lower the cooldown of Blink by 0.1 seconds. And Spatial Echo, using Recall grants 2 charges of Blink. For this build they say to go with Bullet Time. So remember how I said at level 1 you get your heroic right off the bat? Well, at level 10 you then increase your heroic. You have Sticky Bomb, increases Pulse Bomb's radius by 50% and enemies hit are slowed by 60% for 3 seconds. Quantum Spike, Pulse Bomb deals an additional 10% of the primary target's maximum health. And Pulse Rounds increases Pulse Bomb's range and charge rate from basic attack against heroes by 150%. For this build, that's what they recommend to go with, Pulse Rounds. At level 13, we have Bullet Spray. Increases melee's radius by 50% and causes it to damage all enemies in a range. Ricochet. Your basic attacks have a 50% chance to hit another nearby enemy. I knew my English was wrong. Prioritizing heroes. And Leeching Rounds. Your basic attacks against heroes heal you for 20% of their damage dealt. For this talent, this is what they go for with this build. Leeching Rounds. At level 16, we have Sleight of Hand. Reduces reload time by 50%. This equals 20% more damage per second. Focus Fire. If an entire ammo magazine is unloaded on an enemy, the last bullet will deal X bonus damage. This is equal to 30% of the total magazine. And Locked and Loaded. Reactivate reload within the last 50% of its cast time to increase your basic attack damage by 35% for that magazine. For this build, they recommend to go with Sleight of Hand. And at level 20, we have Get Stuffed. Reduces melee's cooldown by 3 seconds. Hitting an enemy with melee who is stuck with a pulse bomb causes the bomb to instantly explode and knocks the target away from you. Total Recall. Recall also heals you equal to the amount of health you lost during that time. And Composition B. If you successfully stick a pulse bomb to an enemy hero, you also drop another one at their feet that deals 50% damage and explodes slightly earlier. For this build, they say to go with Total Recall, which is, again, a little bit more like the ability in the game in Overwatch, where when she recalls, she kind of goes back a little bit and gains a little bit of health as well. Now, when I did show the skins, I only showed the 2. There is a third Spectre skin that is coming. I think it might come next week. I'm not positive. If it is, we'll cover it in the weekly update. Otherwise, that's all we have for this week. That's all we have to show. Tracer is here for those of us who have pre-ordered the Origins edition through Battle.net. And that's all we have, guys. I'll be back next week with more, obviously, Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. Until then, I'll see you guys around. Cheers, love. The Cowboy Race here. And I'll see you in the next round. Right.